What up, great people? You know who it is and what it is. I am Mr. Darkeye. You tuned in to the Mr. Darkeye podcast right here on Anchor FM, New Soul Music Radio, the home of daily motivation to trust God and live your dreams. I'm going to jump right in. I'm getting ready to talk about Will Smith and Chris Rock, Oscars. Everybody's talking about it. Some of y'all like, I'm tired of hearing about it, don't want to hear about it. Everybody jumping on the bandwagon, wanting to talk about this, and then the third. Okay, whatever. I'm talking about it because there is a perspective that I see people are not really talking about on social media or in any other media outlet. Nobody's talking about the fact that when Chris Rock told this joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's first reaction, he laughed. I mean, he laughed like his head cocked back. He clapped 2 times, whole body jerked. He laughed. Like he really laughed, like it was authentic. Now, Jada's reaction was real as well. She rolled her eyes. She didn't like the joke. She didn't like what was said. My perspective on it is, Will thought the joke was funny. He wasn't offended on what Chris said about his wife. When I first heard the joke, I laughed too. Because like a lot of people, nobody knew. A lot of people didn't know what Jada was battling with as far as her hair loss and alopecia and all that. They say she came out and said that on the Red Table Talk or whatever. Something that a lot of people don't watch or whatever. But they say that's when she came out and talked about that or whatever. But a lot of people didn't see that. We don't know. I thought that was just something she was doing new with a hairstyle or whatever. But hey, when I first heard the joke, I laughed. And your own husband sitting right next to you, when he heard the joke, he laughed. So nobody's talking about the fact that Will Smith laughed. He thought it was funny. So I'm thinking that once he saw her and how she reacted to it, then he felt like, oh, I gotta do something. My wife, she didn't like it, so I gotta do something. Maybe she looked at him like, yo, you laughing? Either you go on stage and slap him, or I'm slapping you right here in front of everybody. Maybe that happened. I don't know. I'm just saying. But I'm laughing about it because people are saying that, you know, all the stuff Will going through and what he's been through, if you read his book and you would see that he went through this and that and the third and all that or whatever. Hey, at the end of the day, he got a life that he's lived. He has his experiences, and, you know, the fact that he has a human side of him. I don't know the human side of Will. I've only seen him through television and now social media. I don't know him. A lot of us are the same way. We don't know him. We don't know him as a human being. Even though we know that he is a human being, we don't know him as a human being. We all we know is the star, the celebrity, the Fresh Prince, Will Smith. That's all we know him as. So ultimately with this particular situation, I'm looking at what it is for what I saw in all the footage and everything. He laughed. Now, I'm just going to say this about it. If I'm sitting next to someone, my significant other or very close family member, somebody I love and I care about, and they have a condition or whatever it may be or whatever it is that's going on with them, and somebody makes a joke about them and their situation, and my first response and reaction is to laugh, like real, like laugh. Yeah, and then I look over and see my peoples, they like, yo, I'm not feeling that. I'm offended. I'm like, oh, snap. Okay, now I got to go do something about it. All of a sudden, it ain't funny to me no more. Now I feel like I got to go handle the situation. I'm just saying. And last but not least, I'll say it didn't look real to me. It's just like when you watch it, it just looked real staged and fake. It don't even look like he actually made contact. You know what I'm saying? Like Will actually made contact with Chris. And you know, I'm just saying, but why would they fake it? What would be the narrative around that? I don't know. Maybe it was for us to have this conversation to talk about Will in a different space and you know, kind of change the story and the narrative of what we've been saying about them since the entanglement situation. You know what I'm saying? That could have been the spin on it. You know, who knows? Biggest night, everybody's going to be watching. Opportunity for us to change the narrative about this situation since the whole entanglement conversation that we had. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, if all of this was real, you can't laugh. And then all of a sudden, okay, now you offended. Now you want to jump on stage and, you know, like, I'm from West Philly, boy, I'm gonna smack you. You know, like, nah, come on, dog. And you know who to smack or who not to smack. Yeah, you smack Chris Rock. What if it was Dwayne Johnson up there, The Rock, told that joke? You just gonna be in the crowd with the watery eyes and looking like, he probably would have just did the yelling. He probably just would have been yelling, keep my wife's name out your mouth. He probably just would have been yelling, you know, on stage. He ain't gonna walk up on The Rock. Nah, ain't gonna happen. He knew who to smack. I'm just saying, he knew who to smack. But yeah, again, people, he laughed. It was funny to him. Just like everybody else laughed, he laughed. Period. So your first reaction is to laugh. Don't be trying to act like you Big Willie now. You was big silly. You was laughing. You was big silly. You was laughing. You thought it was funny. Till you looked over and you seen your wife's face. And then when a man does that, when he switch up his whole, like, at the end of the day, stand on what you feeling, bro. You thought it was funny? Tell you what, hey, don't worry about it. It was funny. It was funny. It was funny. Tell her it was funny. Stand on that. But she gave you that look. You better go on stage and handle that. Or you going to have to deal with me. And he said, you know what? I'm going to deal with Chris because I don't want to deal with you. I mess around and get into the wrong type of entanglement. I'm just saying, man, it's funny, man. He laughed. I'm laughing. That's what it is, people. But I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there. That's it. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. You know what I'm saying? You know, plus I'm a media outlet. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? And if for all y'all Christians out there who probably looking at like, Darkeye Christian, why he talking about this mess and getting into this or whatever? Listen, people, there's a difference between things that are secular and profane. Okay, y'all probably looking at it like this is some profane stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, or you looking at it like secular is a thing that we like to make it seem like it's profane and stuff like that. Christians need to know the difference between what's sacred, what's secular, and what's profane. Okay, we need to make sure we understand the difference between these three. Okay, and a lot of people get secular mixed up with profane and act like this is something that we shouldn't be talking about. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just want to say that we can speak on these types of things. We can laugh about it. We can share our thoughts. And then tomorrow it'll be all gone anyway. Nobody's gonna be talking about it. Possibly. Who knows? But again, I just wanted to put my 2 cents on it. That's all I did. And y'all can go back to talking about it yourselves. All right? But either way, people, stay motivated. And don't let something like this discourage you and thinking that at the end of the day, if somebody like Will can fall apart on national TV, if it was real, then, you know, what my future look like. Some of y'all might be thinking like that, but don't do that to yourselves, all right? You're not Will Smith. You're who you are. So trust God, live your dreams, and come back for more motivation right here on the Mista Darkeye podcast. I am Mista Darkeye, right here on Anchor FM, New Soul Music Radio, the home of motivation to trust God and live your dreams. We out.